Okay, sorry for that. It was not getting installed. Okay, now you see this page. It looks like a very simple page. There's nothing installed here. You don't see anything. Okay. Did you notice this? I've changed my word help. This I didn't show you. Most of these extensions I've changed because I didn't want the word help. I wanted to show you that I can change any component in a Firefox that I want. You see that? I just went to a page. You notice the change. You able to see this? Probably can do this again. What this did was basically just by going to a web page, you can get compromised. I'll do one more thing. I just put a JavaScript alert tag there to show you that this is running from a privileged section. Whatever attacks that I showed you, creating a file, creating an XML HTTP request, creating keyloggers, changing your passwords, any of those files, create a debug tag, put it inside this, and get executed here. Why will it get executed here? Because this content that is here is now getting executed from a very privileged section. What has happened is, I'll show you from the code, that will be more easier for you to understand. Okay, if you look at this one, there's a very simple one here, which basically creates a listener here. This listener, what it will do is, whatever value you send from the web page, it is going to run a Mozilla function called load overlay. What that means is, I've been telling you these Zool. Zool is by default, you put it in an extension and you lock it, make an XPA, install it. But the developers of Mozilla said, what if we need to randomly add new files to it? They created a function called load overlay. Load overlay puts dynamic Zool there. What happens is, when that happens, I can give any URL I want. What is the only thing that you need to do is, you have to host your Zool file somewhere. That Zool file, what I did in that web page is, I just put a link to where my Zool file is. It's stored in my website there. It's getting picked up and getting run here. Yes?
What antivirus trigger an alert in this?
No. No. I'm not doing anything wrong. Because I'm not the best antivirus, maybe Sahib can help me with some of those, but if you look at it, I'm not doing anything wrong. It's just doing an AJAX request, picking up a Zool file. Zool file, it's trusted by the extension and it is being pushed into the Chrome zone. Once it's inside the Chrome zone, the Zool file is being used by the load overlay. The problem is this function load overlay. The load overlay, once it gets this function, Zool file, it applies it there. That's the problem. The next question you could maybe ask is, how do you suffer from some things like this? As an extension developer, I would have not trusted this URL just like that. I would have seen where it is coming from. I would write a small piece of code to say, I will do only maybe from XYZ places that I will accept it, or if it's my extension, I probably would want it to content to come from only my website, not from somewhere else. That's something that was missing. There have been, now these are all not demos. One important thing is, this is not just a theoretical attack. There have been attacks that are being proved to do this. One of the examples that I can do, this is not my concept. The concept was designed by someone called PDP. I'm sure most of the web application guys know who PDP is. He's the guru in web application security. He did one extension attack on Sage, and he could do something like this. If you look up Sage, you will know what actually he did. The next one that I'm going to look at is wrapping the bypassing wrappers. Just going to run a little bit fast now. Yes.
One question.
Yes.
You said the extension has create file.
Yes.
What if I log in with the user who does not have rights over the file system?
Great question. That does not depend on it because the XPCOM is creating it, and XPCOM has the permissions to do that.
So indirectly you want to say it overrides the
Operating system also. Yes.
methods?
Yes.
And it's true for every operating system?
Windows, I know, definitely. You could test this off. It's very simple. You could use the same. These code are going to be posted. You can take the same code. The file creating code is also there. Use this code. Use a very low privilege user like something like a power user, which I have done, and you can run it. It all happens because a power user can install a Firefox.
No, but if the
So I think the question was if the person doesn't have rights to write on the file system, he won't be able to write through with file.
See, but the Mozilla is writing it. It's not the user who's writing it. The function, the executable, has enough powers to write to it.
okay, let me ask the same question in different way. In what context this Chrome runs under? System, anti-authority, or what?
My belief it runs with NG authority. It runs with an administrative access.
Even if the user using Firefox is a normal user.
Yes.
Yeah, like once it's currently running under some different, doesn't matter under whose Firefox is running.
Okay, can I turn to the next one? The last one that I wanted to concentrate is a very simple one. Is wrap JS object. In the recent past, Mozilla has put in a lot of security controls to basically put firewalls between the multiple contexts. Like the place where you normally browse and their extensions are now separated. They can't talk to each other by default by something called wrappers. But for some reason, Mozilla also created a small function called wrap.js object. I wouldn't call it a function, it's an attribute. This one, when you apply it to a function, to an object, to do anything, it basically bypasses the security controls. This is the last one. So, let me not talk too much and let me get to the demo of it. Okay. If you notice this, I just went to a page and clicked these buttons. What was happening is the values from the this is if you see the JavaScript application there, it basically gives you an idea that it is being played from the Chrome extension, so from the Chrome itself, not from the page. If you have a page giving you this alert box, you wouldn't see that Java application there. What basically we are doing is, if you look at this, is whatever value I am passing from here is being passed. Show it to you. You see this? There are two variables that I have created in this page here. And what I did was I put some values in here. I put an eval here. Because of time, I'm not able to show one of these demos. Eval is a very bad function that you want to use inside a Chrome. Basically, because when you put an eval there, it will execute any JavaScript you put in there. So you may not want to look at. There was an extension that I had created, which was just you put a 2 plus 2 and add. What I was taking is I was taking these 2 and giving it to an eval there. But rather than putting 2 plus 2, I can put anything there and it will get executed. So I'm not getting into that one. But what do I mean is, all those files that you are creating, all the functions that are there, if you put it through an eval, it will get executed there. Here, by default, when you call from Chrome, MyMessage and MyMessage1 are not accessible. But when you put a wrapped JS object, what happens is the security is terminated. And you can basically call it even from the privilege zone. I'll show you the code for this one. Probably I can recompile this extension for a second to show you that it is actually possible that you cannot read this. If you see that, I've put a wrapped text there. What I'll do is, I'll just take this off. Save it. It should automatically pick up my new file. See that? It doesn't execute. Because now Chrome doesn't have the privilege to go access that component. If you want proof of that, is you can see this. My message is not defined. Okay, let me wrap up quickly. What do you need to look for? These are some of the closed immediate ones that you need to look for. Is when you install an XPI, please open up, unwrap it, see if there are any executables. These are some of the most important ones. Look for em_inter. That was your answer for the question. Yes, you can write before, but now you can't anymore. Verify the chrome.manifest. See if your extension is trying to override the values of some other extension. That's something that's very important. This as an end user. As a developer, that's a whole presentation by itself. There are multiple things that you need to take care of. Some of the most important ones that you need to really take care of is don't bypass wrappers. That's very important. Don't trust any content from the normal context into the privileged context. Don't use eval. That's a cardinal sin. And there's an extra link there which Mozilla has posted now. There's a set of 10 rules and regulations you need to follow. If you need to build an extension and get posted on Mozilla site there, you have to follow some of these.